You got yours up, Joe?
Oh, snap.
No. Wait. Yeah, it'll say I'm live, and then it'll show me going like this.
It does show that it's live.
I'll have to pull it up on mine. I'm gonna watch myself.
Look at you. Okay.
I
now
think we're
see
in the
you
internet. Are we in the internet, guys?
We are.
Did it. We made it. I do it every time. All right. Hey, Facebook, if you're just tuning in, hey, Joe, you want to be my co-host? We both rock this thing out?
Yeah.
How do we do that?
Oh, snap.
This is Joe Takacs teaching me how to do a millennial move, and my kid's in the background screaming. I think she's just excited, though. Sorry, guys.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, we're all just trying to keep sane. I mean, I'm okay with not keeping sane. That's when I'm my most creative. All right.
Absolutely.
We're chilling. This is me and three wonderful gentlemen. Of course, everyone knows me. I'm Shay. I work with Champion Title and Closing. I do business development, client relations. We're really hands-on. We're attorney managed title company. We've been out and about with our new drive-through closing window that we're pushing around. We can talk about that later. And if you three gentlemen want to introduce yourselves, and we can kind of chat, and if anyone watching has some questions about what we're all talking about, who we are, we can I'll go in the comments and rock it out with y'all. Who wants to start? Joe, go ahead.
Okay. I was gonna say gentlemen first and point it over to Dan, but
well, I drink my Red Bull.
I appreciate that.
This is powered by Red Bull. We're seeing if Joe survives after his drink. We don't know.
Fisting caffeine.
So someone check up on him in 33 minutes after this live.
Right.
The nurses and everybody are too busy saving lives for COVID. So thank you guys for sure. But jokes aside, hey guys, I'm Joe, real estate agent, Core Group Real Estate, and pleasure to be here. Thanks, Dan and Greg. Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah. And Dan and Greg, you guys kind of brought us together to have, just an open discussion. I try to keep everything now. I think we've gone through the COVID-19 talk and oh my gosh, what do we do now? What is this? How do we move on or stay relevant? And I feel like now I'm glad that we all kind of agreed to make this we're vendors. Us three are vendors. Joe, you're in real estate, and we all work together as a team, as what we are in our jobs. So I want it to be where we just show our value. Right now, I know us in title, we're not trying to be the new crazy innovators and do something out of our wheelhouse. We're attorney managed, so we have that wonderful knowledge base of attorneys in law right now. So we lean on that. We lean on what we know and what we do. I'm not trying to, I think immediately when this happened, I didn't put my sales hat on and try to go get new business. I made sure my people were good. I made sure my closings were good. They were 100%. Taking care of what they need, what my realtors need, what their clients need. Is there anything, I wasn't in that like business over empathy mindset. So I feel like that's where our conversations are kind of moving into now. Like, what are we doing now? What are we doing to move forward, support, especially with us in our community and stuff. We can get to that later, but kind of, what you guys do as lending and in mortgage and what that looks like in the market right now. What are you guys doing to support people who can't buy, or agents who have questions, or, there's a lot of noise. I feel like it changes every hour, I would think, in mortgage. So
no kidding.
You guys kind of want to introduce yourselves and who you work for and what you do, and just, whatever you guys want.
Sounds good. I'm Dan Roberts with Primary Residential Mortgage, part of the Roberts team here, and I'll pass it on to Greg.
And I am Greg Roberts, part of the Roberts team, Primary Residential Mortgage, father and son duo here.
I love that.
I was going to say, you guys are related, huh?
Yeah, same last name.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask after this how that's challenging and beneficial at the same time.
That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we can start and just kind of talk about lending for a second here and what has transpired over the last 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, it's been a crazy time, and for everybody in general, but in the lending business for sure. With the stock market tanking and people just freaking out, and it has come into the mortgage space, and And a lot of the programs, not a lot, but some programs that were there before are not available right now. And some of the other main programs they made them more difficult to get them. But the good thing about all that is that in the last week or so, we have seen where they tightened up on some of the programs, the credit scores and stuff. They are starting to ease off on them already. So that's good. And we're really excited about that. That's for sure.
Cool. Now, how does that look like? So if you have someone who necessarily can't buy, if they just got furloughed or whatever that means to the people who are kind of in that, like, I was just ready to start my home buying process and the agent's still supporting them, how do you guys come in and offer any kind of, I guess, like maybe lapse in that time where they're we're all in this time where we might get our, some people might get their jobs back, some people might get a different job. So what do you do in the meantime though for those people who can't buy, and who are those people? I know that even me, I'm in title and I try to keep up with the winding and the guidelines and the credit scores, and for me it's a lot. So I know I lean on a lot of my lender partners to ask them daily and to connect them to people who they can help, and if they can't, what do they do in the meantime? Because I guess we all want to encourage everyone to still buy, to still even the agents who are like, I have buyers and they can't do anything right now, what can they do? And I know, Joe, you can kind of touch on how you are still nurturing your clients who maybe can't buy, or they're kind of scared, or how you guide them. So what is that like lapse in time with the people who cannot buy right now, or what you guys can, I guess, support them in?
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of education because we meet a lot of buyers who are not ready to buy at that moment anyways.
Yeah.
We do a lot of home buyer seminars, and those are usually first-time buyers, and they may have credit issues or other issues, whatever it may be. So we do a lot of education based on that to start with. We're just, I've had files that we had to put on hold for people because they got furloughed. So it's very common right now in the industry. They're checking on your employment the day of closing, just to make sure you haven't lost your job. They have to.
We're going through that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're being very careful about it right now. So, but a lot of people are just furloughed for a period of time, and they'll be back to work. And we just take the file as far as we can take it. And once they're reemployed, we're off a furlough, then we can just go ahead and close the file. So at that time. So we're just kind of trying to be the calming sense, because there's a lot going on, and people who are going to buy or even refinance, just trying to be the calming force and let them know that things are going to all work out in the long run. Just going to take a little bit of time till they get back to employment.
Yeah, I agree. I think I like that we all agree that we're not, the panic phase. I mean, especially us as vendors, I was immediately like, okay, cool. Let's just see what we have and how can we, support our agents and their clients too, and just kind of roll with it, and not, we're all going to be okay. This is going to maybe positively change how we run our businesses. I mean, now I'd even Zoom meeting. I mean, this is amazing to me. And this was actually, I tell everyone, this is my worst fear, was going on Facebook Live like 3 weeks ago. And I was like, I'll never do that. I hate it. I hate talking. Like public speaking is public speaking to me. So, I'm trying to find the tiny, good things in this. And I try to encourage, I touch base with my agents every day. And how do you guys support essentially the agents you work with and their clients too? Like, do you have, what sets you guys apart essentially in lending?
We're really just doing the same thing that you are, reaching out to all our real estate partners and our clients, just to see how they're doing in general. Not even, if it has anything to do with a loan, but just how they're doing in general, because it's a tough time for everybody. But and just talking to our real estate partners, our realtors, about what has changed for them, what they're doing to adapt, or what they're not doing to adapt. Some people are not adapting to this, but most of them
some people are like, social media, what? Like virtual? I'm like, I got you, don't worry. Come here. So I've known a lot of my agents were like, hey, like I know that conversation we had like 3 months ago, where like I really wanted to get myself out there more on social media. Like now I actually have to. So what can we do? So that's like been like a good, not distraction, but like what I always found, what am I doing that I wasn't so good at? What can I like hone in on while I'm in this time where I have to adapt? And especially us at Champion, like I said, we were like, so what can we do? You know, we don't want to like reinvent the wheel. We don't want to do something crazy and like push and be really pushy into people's faces. Let's just open up our window and do a drive-through like closing window.
I love
and we
that.
made it really cool. And I'm still doing, you know, I know that winding and title, it's kind of a weird relationship on how we work. So a lot of our lenders aren't letting us remote, which Ron, the remote online notary, was immediately on everyone's mind. We've been doing it. We've been okay to do it since January, but a lot of the lenders want the wet signatures. So what we've been doing is, fortunately for us in the sales and marketing side, we work alongside our paralegal closers who are just like, they're beasts, they're amazing. To have that like extra liaison of like concierge service. Like I'll go and make it as safe as possible in someone's garage. I did a garage closing. We had like the long Thanksgiving table. I had the agent over there. We had gloves and masks and sanitizers, but it's what we had to do to close them because we didn't have the remote service available. And, you know, we didn't want to have that in office, and we wanted to make it as comfortable as possible for them. So
I love the drive-through window. That's great.
Huh?
It's so good. I love the fact that
it's so cool. We have like a legit sign. We have like the little fry boxes and with like sanitizer.
It really
like,
is sweet, man.
It was like a knee-jerk reaction to us because I know that like a lot of things I'm getting questions on. I'm like, please refer to our attorneys. Please refer to our attorneys. Like I know immediately there was a lot of noise. There was a lot of noise in winding too, with like rates and this and the big things and what are they doing? And title, it was like, who's closed? Can we do e-recordings? And you know, we're doing market updates every other day or so. Sometimes it really doesn't change as far as the counties and the e-recordings and the delays and stuff. So we're just being informative and positive. Like I'm not trying to like have some event on Facebook just to like be visible or do something. I'm giving at least our value with what we've been doing anyways. The drive-through window was cool though, and I'm like really excited about it. We have Friday. Wait, what's today? Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday, guys.
Happy hump day.
Friday we have like just back-to-back drive-through closings. So we're gonna be there doing some. I'm gonna be doing some videos, and I'm a photographer, so I'll be there with my camera anyways. You know, with my mask and my hazmat suit. So it's just like that was our immediate thing. I think a lot of people were like, wow, a lot of, I guess like the marketing side of title wouldn't go into their files like you guys did. We're so lucky and blessed to have that like freedom to work our files alongside our closers and be involved and talk to our agents, and we're not just that like face of it and run off, you know. So they give us those tools and support. So I'm really like, I never thought I'd work in title ever, but I love I love my people.
Here you are.
Oh, look at me. And Joe, what are you doing? What are you doing with your clients? How are you nurturing them or still encouraging them? Because I know a lot of people are I wouldn't say scared. I would say just like what's going on, like they're leaning on real estate agents even more, which is good because it puts, I think, the trust back in agents, you know, getting away from the iBuyer stuff and the automated stuff and really going back to like relationships with your real estate agent and 100%. Agents in the community and stuff. So
yeah, so
how does that look like for you guys?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of really interesting things to kind of tackle from that point. You know, number one being, I think that there's a tad bit of an overreaction just on terms of, you know, a negative mindset on what the market is really looking like currently. And, you know, taking a step back from that, and I'll get to your question here in just a second, but, you know, I'm certainly remaining optimistic as well as our brokerage for everything. And we really like to look at our numbers from that standpoint and just adding value from there. And ensuring people that, hey, whether it's buying or selling, there is just a ton that's currently going on in the market. And one of those, especially being on the buy side, is affordability. Interest rates are still incredibly low, as my two gentlemen over there in the lending panel.
Yo, I signed a buyer the other day. I looked at the interest rate and I'm like, Wow. Okay.
Insane.
Like,
It's
this
almost
is
like giving
cool.
away loans for
Right?
free.
It's like free
you
money.
know?
I was so shocked.
Yeah.
Like, this is a typo. Like, what is this?
It's nuts. So,
It's
you know,
cool.
buy side affordability is still high. But two, even on the sell side, like stuff is still flying off the shelf. And when you go and look at the snapshots that come in from Aura, which is the Regional Realtors Association for Orlando, you know, they give us updates on how many single family homes are being sold, condos, townhomes, how many are coming on the market, going pending, sold, as well as interest rates that are associated with that. And those numbers are staying consistent. Like stuff is still closing. You know, it's just ensuring that and vetting the situations on both sides to make sure it's either a good sell decision or a good purchase decision, regardless. But back to your original question, you know, we just like to be there. And I think at this point, doing a lot of what we're doing right now is just one, staying informative and really just catering to the people who either need help in the community or monetarily, physically, emotionally, anything like that. Because there are a lot of people that have been furloughed and lost their jobs, but assisting them through that and then helping them, you know, kind of create that landscape that's going to set them up for success to be able to purchase in the next 12 months, because this isn't going to last for forever.
Yeah.
But, you know, we've got people ready to buy, ready to sell on both sides of that. And then everybody else is just almost like, hey, instead of saying, holy crap, you know, we're screwed for the next, you know, 2 years, let's just back that up, talk about some of the options that we have that are available to help you on whatever that is that you need, credit card repair, maybe you lost your job and you need some assistance, whatever that looks like, offer, you know, the assistance and the help there and point them in the correct direction, and then just be able to continue to help them through the remainder of the process.
I love that you guys do that. I think both of us too, as company wide, you guys, if you can pitch into, I don't know much about your charity work or community, but I know that us and especially the core group, I mean, everything was always charity centric before this. And I think immediately I was always thinking like, who are our charity partners? Who are the people we donate on every closing? Who are the people we've been donating to? Do they need help? I know that our attorney owner, Sarah Geltz, is on the PACE Center for Girls board, and they immediately needed help. I mean, I thought all these people who we've been helping all year, our community, all the restaurants that we asked to sponsor our events and hold our events, like, how are they doing? I know we're so blessed in the Orlando market that I don't think, you know, I think we support our market so much just as agents, and who just everyone does. We all want to keep going. We don't want to put panic or fear in anyone. We're all nurturing, you know, the market and why we're here and why we do what we do. But I immediately thought of all the people that, like I said, we worked for. We had events at their restaurants, and now they're turning around and going, oh my gosh, like we need to help them and be a pillar in our community. And I think that I don't ever think, I'm gonna get a little deep here, but I don't think you can receive and feel success. I know we do closings and you guys get, you know, if you close a deal or if you get something, but I don't think you feel that unless you really give back. You know, I don't think that
100%.
means anything until you give back. So I know in Champion, we've been touching base with all of our charity partners, anyone that I've seen online. There's a bunch of groups supporting local restaurants. So I know that we've been doing that. I know Justin and a lot of you guys have been reaching out to the people who need stuff, and we're involved with PACE as well. So it's been really amazing to see people come together and then see real estate agents be like a part of our community. I know we always have been in a lot of, you know, vendors and real estates, but it's really giving back and being there. And people remember how people act or behave or support in this kind of climate. So it's been really on the flip side to see everyone come together and support these people. So if you gentlemen have any charity partners, whatever, we can put it in the comments and we can get a little, every live video I do, I always put some kind of donation or something in the comments, and I'll donate myself. So I always do that. So it's been great.
Yeah, I think there's an interesting dynamic to address again, just everything kind of going on, because and Shay, like you said, I don't think it's so much people are like scared. It's just the uncertainty of, you know, what this is all really going to be looking like over the next couple of months can certainly kind of create that so where you're just noise. Like, holy crap. Yeah, no doubt. But
even for me, I had to touch base with like a few lenders. I'm like, can you tell me what's going on? Like what's happening with like the daily rates? Like how do I, if I have someone who is a foreign national or buyer, or, you know, the non-Q, whatever that is, like, what do I do? Like, how do I, if I know this is coming and it's going to be a rocky file because everything changed or someone who's furloughed, how do I lean on my other vendor partners, and how do the agents do to to work together to still support those clients and people. So I've had to
100%.
reach out, and I was like, whoa, like I'm educating and learning myself too. So I don't think we're ever done learning. We don't all know everything, but I've liked to even reach out to other vendors in my own sector. So it's been really great to see everyone just kind of come together. I think.
I do have a question for Dan and Greg too, Shay, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sure everybody's seen at this point, Chase Bank just went over to only 20% down conventional loans for the consumers that really wanted that. So I really wanted to discuss, where do you guys see the landscape of the lending market? I mean, I think that was something we all kind of expected for the USAAs and Chase Banks and Bank of Americas of the lending world, but huge win for the small guys for sure. But what do you think that leads potentially could lead for us, who are in it day to day, 100% of the time? Like we live and breathe this stuff.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a temporary thing, even with them. We pulled back on credit scores for FHA. And the problem is that the riskier loans, like Shay was talking about, non-QMs, with his for national loans, or somebody who has to do a bank statement loan because they don't have a lot of income on their tax returns. Those types of programs were the first thing pulled back because they're the riskiest, and the investors don't want to buy them when they're over. So those were pulled back. And then FHA, a lot of the companies raised their credit scores on those because that's the next riskiest loan. But now we're always, like I said before, we're already seeing an easing back on some of the credit scores on that. So, yeah, I mean, I heard that Chase went to 20% down minimum with a 720 credit score too, that they're not
Correct.
doing anything below that. So they're just covering their behinds to make sure that they don't take on any risky loans. For us, we're nowhere near that as far as credit scores or percent of down payments. It's going to be, it's still going to be better for a lender like us. We're a direct lender or a broker for doing loans like that because have more latitude. Definitely, for sure, in those loans. So it's still a good time for people to buy. As you said, the interest rates are still almost record lows. I mean, they were
Crazy
record
right now.
lows the beginning of March for about a week before everything went crazy. And they came up a little bit, but they're still, I mean, really low. I mean, unbelievable to buy a house and get an interest rate in the threes is great. And like I said, we have enough latitude on a lot of our products where a lot of people can still get qualified. So people shouldn't get scared out there about that at all. It's one of those where we can look at where their situation is and guide them from there, whether they're ready now or they're ready in 6 months or a year. But yes, we still have the products available as opposed to the big banks.
And on top of that, now the down payment assistance programs that had been temporarily paused for a couple of weeks there have just opened back up again this week, at least for Orange County.
Oh, I didn't know that. I was wondering that too.
Huge.
So how do people like me and Title or whoever, like where's like our resources? Do we just, I mean, for me, I've just been reaching out to lenders, but is that kind of your best advice for anyone who's like, I just need some like up to date, like, I mean, I know that we're putting out our up to date like market updates and delays or whatever it looks like on Title, but in lending, I feel like it changes so quick. So is it just best for anyone who's wondering just to directly reach out? Do you guys do any outreach on your pages or business pages, kind of like on updates as well?
Yeah, so anybody can call us at any time. Either of our phone numbers, we'll leave them in the comments down there. And we do educational videos once a week, trying to basically just tell everybody where it's at and different subjects every week through our Facebook pages and our YouTube channel.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, I'll have to tag you guys in the comments, your business page and how people can contact you. If anyone has any questions about lending, just the market, even if I always say, even if you don't use me for Title or whatever it is, always ask me questions. Even if it has to do with attorney, marketing, whatever, you guys too. And of course, Joe, he'll sell your house and get you in a house really quick. I mean, without even knowing that it's happening to you. That's how good they are. I'm just saying.
They'll know it's happening because we're so good at communicating, Shay.
No, I meant they'll just be like, yeah, that's what I want to do.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
know.
guys are so good. It's happening. I'm in the house now. Oh my gosh, that was so easy.
That's the goal.
Mountain Dew drink.
Yep, it's the Mountain Dew drink. It's the focus.
right.
I'm wired.
Good now?
Next thing you know,
I'm like, yeah, I'm almost done with mine. But I'm like so immune to Red Bull that I'm gonna pick up my coffee here after. So
no jitters yet.
Yeah, and just like you just said, Shay, we're the same way. If somebody has a question, doesn't matter whether they're working with us or, because right now there's a lot of questions on forbearance, which is a total different topic that we're not going to get into now. But
I feel like a lot of things is case by case too, because I do that in title. I'm like, I'm not going to give everyone answers right now. If it's case to case, file to file, please directly reach out. Like I don't want to give out any blanket information about that. So I know the forbearance is a huge, huge discussion right now. And I think, people definitely reach out to your vendors directly to kind of get those answers.
Right. So if anybody has a question on that, whether they got the mortgage from us or not, we're available to help them, guide them. We just want them to be informed, especially on that, because that you can get in trouble with the forbearance if you don't understand exactly what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And it's, the market's still great. I still have friends who reach out, like, I think you work in real estate, right? Like, I kind of want to buy. I'm like, yay, good. Let's do this. And I'm not a real estate agent, but you nailed it a little bit. But like people are starting to, I think we've all realized real estate is the best investment you can make. But, even like the young buyers or whatever, they're seeing it, even the passive income, the Airbnbs or whatever it may be, like it's here, and Orlando's a really amazing market. So we're lucky. So
yeah,
I'm glad we all got together. We'll make it short and sweet, and not drag every Zoom call on. I'm getting tired of all the Zoom calls. So I try to make this a little like, just we're here, just what we do. Not trying to.
They're good little they're good little market updates. Stuff is changing every 24 hours, so it's good to just get on here, chat, continue, and remain remain optimistic.
An actual shirt on. I wasn't wearing a sweater or robe. I'm really happy we did that. Thanks, guys, for the motivation today.
Yeah.
Joe brushed his hair.
That's right.
Did you always
grew a
have
beard?
That, yeah, I was gonna say your beard. I feel like needs its own tag in here. I feel like maybe it's like
God.
It's come into itself.
Its own charity fund.
I need a charity fund because I can't fill it in, man. It's bad. I just got this. That's it.
It's great. Just don't turn your head. You're fine.
Yeah, no kidding.
Everyone, if they have questions about growing beards, let's not ask Joe. You can ask him how his energy drink was, and then these fine gentlemen are tagged if you need to get a hold of them, and me as well. And we'll get off here, and I'm gonna go eat some more snacks, because I've been snacking all day, man. What was that, Joe? Do that one more time. Hold on, we'll dance off to this one.
A little dance off, a little Millie Rock.
There you go.
So can we get those snacks to the drive-through window?
Huh? Yeah. Wait. Well, okay. No. I'll
tell
throw them and be like, as safe as possible. I almost said yeah, but I'm like, oh gosh, someone's gonna say that they're
Shay, let's do this. Let's give somebody some toilet paper and then some Chick-fil-A. We'll be ready to roll. How about that?
There you go.
I like that. Let's do that.
You like that, Greg?
I like that. Maybe some champagne, because we all need some. I need to make my order today. So.
Yeah.
Thanks guys for chatting with me, and I'll head out. So
thank you,
bye,
guys.
Bye.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.